Hi, my name is Ben. I am a student of INSF 2604 AI Fluency, and I am going to be going through a demonstration of my project, ABQ, or Ask Better Questions. A couple things to note is that it will be a little bit laggy. I'm on a laptop to record, and it is not as powerful as my PC. So there are going to be some delays. Thank you for your patience as you go through it. The other thing to note is I've hit the free plan with GPT 4.0. So this is on GPT 4.0 mini. That means that there may be some things that aren't quite perfect, but it should overall be a really good overview of how I've designed this program to work. One of the things, just as an example, is that it wouldn't say this. You have the introduction, which introduces itself and is meant to be pretty straightforward, ending in it asking you when you're ready. Just say ready and we'll begin. It's not supposed to ask it a second time, but it is, so we're just going to roll with it. Let's begin. I'm ready. I'm going to be talking about it as well as I go. Maybe that will make better use of the pauses as my computer loads the answer. Okay, so it's not meant to do that. I guess we're just troubleshooting and showing some of the bugs as we go, but I'm going to use my administrative word pineapple to let it know that it didn't do the right thing. Something is wrong here. Please tell me what it is and how we will resolve it. Pineapple is just my code word to the assistant as we run through the scenarios. Obviously, I'm acting as both the test user and as the administrator. Okay, good. So it's again not quite right, but as I said, we're going to roll with it. First thing it asks me is who I will be meeting with. So in this scenario, I'm going to be an engineering student applying for an internship, which is something I will have to do in the future and has been on my mind. So I'm going to say that who I will be meeting with is a hiring manager for an engineering firm. And my thought process behind this is that this will prime the assistant to assume that personality later. So these first initial questions are, going to be priming the assistant. Next, a little bit about myself. So I am an undergraduate student studying mechanical engineering. And so I didn't answer that second bit, what's brought you to this meeting, but in this process, I am not going to be answering all the questions because having worked in customer service, I think that people don't read everything. Case in point, I didn't read everything and I wrote it. So I'm going to take a moment to think what would be a win for me in this meeting. I would like to have a successful interview where they offer me an internship at the end. That is the outcome that would make me feel satisfied in this. So again, this is a little bit slow. It is taking some time. It was a lot faster before, but just with the strain on my computer and the recording software, it's gonna take some time. Let's go with 1 to 5. How prepared do I feel for this meeting? I mean, for this virtual fake meeting that I'm about to have, don't feel prepared at all. I have no idea what's coming here. You know what, I'm a little prepared. A little bit. Let's say a 2 out of 5. So how much time do I have to prepare for this meeting or constraints? I'm going to say it's in a week. Meeting then in a week. Can't think of any other constraints that affect it, but I put that question in there because if this wasn't a hiring position, but if this was, you know, maybe something else along the lines of I'm planning to meet a friend or I have a doctor's appointment, which are other use cases I have for this, then I might have different constraints. So I figured I'd just add a little something. So the first thing that this provides me after I've given everything here is questions a professional may ask you. So again, sometimes it just feels good to know what kind of questions might be coming your way. Right, that's pretty good. Questions a professional may ask me. I'm happy with that. If I wanted to, I could ask for more or less, but this is already going to be quite long, so I'll just move on to the next thing. Next. Okay, questions I may want to ask professionals. This is probably going to be a little bit more useful. So this part here, I am going to make some changes. I am going to ask them for, what is it? If they can simplify or maybe make it a little bit more casual. I might not say, what would the internship involve on a day-to-day basis? That seems a little bit formal, a little bit generic. So, can this be reworded to sound more casual? Something that might be a little bit easy to remember, you know? What does a typical day look like for an intern here? I mean, that's more casual than involved on a day-to-day basis, and this is one of the, you know, reasons why I think ChatGPT would go so well with it, because it does create very natural language when you tell it to. I'm happy with this, so I'm happy to move on. So this, I think, is going to be a really important part of it, where I just get to have a practice interview with the bot. In this phase, we'll simulate the interview, we'll ask you some questions. Yeah. Now, ideally, this is meant to be about 3 minutes. That's what I asked it to do, is to give a 3-minute trial meeting. Let's see if it takes 3 minutes. It'll take longer because of things to load, but start the time now. Not sure what the time is. You can see it there. I'm going to say this will maybe take 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes with all the extra pausing, but let's go. So, let's work in renewables, and I want this internship because your company is the best. So I'm going to be pretty casual. I'm typing it. Maybe in the future, this is something that I could say verbally, and it would note it down. I know that there are technologies and companies doing that, but it's also going to just give some feedback as we go. It's mostly going to be positive feedback because we want people to feel comfortable. I was a group project where I managed schedules and kept people on track. I also did technical analysis. Why not? Strong answer. Probably not the strongest, but it is going to give some feedback at the end of this. Challenge I faced. Our group had some big personalities, which didn't always agree with each other. We talked out our differences and compromised to ensure a smooth operation. Is that the best answer? Probably not. But I might put in more time later. Again, this is just meant to get people's brains ticking. That way, when they do walk into it later, they can maybe go, hey, you know, I answered a question like this. Maybe they feel a little bit more comfortable. Ooh, curveball. How do I handle pressure or tight deadlines? I don't. I'll put that in an interview. I talk to my coworkers and my manager to discuss what needs to be prioritized. And I focus on that. Did I spell prioritized wrong? More the British English way, but you should know what it is. It's kind of smart. This is probably going to be like a 15-minute video, something. Probably longer. Sometimes you worked with someone who had a different opinion or approach to you. How did you handle it? I discussed. We discussed opinions in a civil manner over a cup of coffee and worked on a strategy to combine our approaches. This is a long interview. I refer back to the project guidelines and customer and role requirements. I can't manage everything. I share with a manager to distribute the load among other team members so we ensure equality resolution. Kind of just buzzwords at this point, you know, it all becomes platitudes, but it's an interview. The whole thing's kind of platitudinal. That's a word. Not sure. Just finished 4 other assignments. I'm very tired. But I'm also excited to see how this goes. I had a decent result last time. So I am proficient in SolidWorks, CAD modeling, Python, SQL, and Microsoft Office Suite. Again, I could say this better, I could say this more appropriately, how I would to a person, but this has got to have been about 3 minutes of conversation, right? Yeah, we're wrapping up. Not at this point. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you further. I mean, if there weren't so many delays, there probably would be about 3 minutes or so. 7 questions, about 30 seconds a question, give or take. And this is what I'm excited to get. The post-meeting reflection. So for my strengths, I provided examples of teamwork, technical skills, blah, 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 blah. Could be more concise, sometimes less is more. I thought that I didn't give enough, but, ChatGPT says what it says. Next steps. Cool. Alright, and that kind of comes to the end of the scenario. So, thank you so much for coming along for the ride. It was a very slow ride, kind of tugging along in your grandma's car, but hopefully you got a pretty good idea of how this works. Again, just now that we've finished it, I'll go over it in a little bit faster, but it gives an intro to explain what it does to a newbie. It prompts you, unlike traditional AI where you prompt it. And then after it prompts you to give it some information about the particular meeting or discussion you're preparing to have, it gives you an idea of what may be coming your way. That way, I could write this down, it could come to me. And then it goes to questions I might want to ask, which, again, you're welcome to rewrite in your own way. Before moving on to a trial meeting and giving some feedback. Now, one thing I am going to do, because it didn't add this and it should have, is going to give it my admin safe word. You missed the cheat sheet. Please provide one for this scenario. Toblerone break. Yeah, right. So here's a little cheat sheet. This is ideally the very last thing that comes here. It's missing a couple elements, but gives me a checklist of what to prepare for the meeting. Gives me an idea of what questions are the professional. That's just a placeholder. It could be a doctor, it could be a hiring manager, it could be a friend you haven't caught up with in a while, may ask you. And then it gives me some prompts to what I may want to ask a professional. I'm going to put a disclaimer here that this in no way is real professional advice. It could become better advice if people contribute to it and it feeds on the right data sets, but this is really just meant to help people that are feeling a little bit nervous about talking to someone, whether that is a professional or someone casual. I just think we can all get a little bit stuck when we meet with people, and that's kind of why I wanted to design this tool. Anyway, I am going to be signing off. I do appreciate your time with this. Just, I think that's 20 minutes. Okay, I think that hits just under the YouTube limit. So, you have a good one. Thank you.